place to rest my weary bones than on this beautiful island where there's so much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something there to remind me of my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, yes. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, home, home. Sweet Grenada, yeah, this is home.
Alrighty, Grenada, Carriacou, Piemonte, and the rest of the world, I'd like to welcome you to another Mikey Live. Folks, this is where it all happens. We're talking about the good, we're talking about the bad, and we're talking about the Mikey. Brace all yourself, people. We have a real thing to tell all you about. It was a very busy news day today. In fact, your boy hardly even get chance to drink a little bit of water. It was here, there, and everywhere. So many things to tell you about today, but we are happy that we are here to speak with you about what's making the news tonight. Of course, you know the housekeeping matters. We are encouraging you to share the program. Now, the program is free to view, and of course, we want to make sure that it remains free to view. All we ask of you is to share the live. It's simple for those of you who are on Facebook. So you go ahead and you do that right there. That's your civic duty to share the program. We'd like to say welcome to the folks viewing on YouTube. It is our pleasure to have you with us. Likewise, we'd like to say hello and welcome to the viewers on WPG10, that's cable TV channels 10 standard definition and 11 high definition. Thanks to all of you for being here with us tonight. Now, let's talk about what's making the headlines. 17 injured in accident at Perseverance today. As well, young footballer collapses and died while playing football last evening. Retired teacher's promotion letter surfaces after 14 years. Probably that's one of the most interesting stories. One of the most interesting stories we'll be telling you about tonight. Folks, you wouldn't believe what you're hearing. So you just stay put. We're going to tell you about that. Chenny Joseph reinstated as GFA's president. We will tell you more about that. There was a press conference held today. The announcement was made. And Oliwa principal is under fire for striking a student who was caught in a compromising act in St. Lucia. We'll tell you about that, and as well, 258 arrested over 72 hours during Operation Strike Back in Trinidad and Tobago. The Commissioner of Police there in Plain. All right, guys. So we're going to tell you about that and more. Again, here are we encouraging you to share the program. Now, we want to remind you that the headlines of the program was brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emirates International and WPG10. Listen, when we return, it will be real news in all your Lily Lulu. So brace all yourself. We will be back.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Hey man, what happened to you?
Boy, cancer one. Cancer gone with the next one.
Cancer? Who is cancer? And who you go with?
Who is cancer? Boy, you don't live in it. Boy, cancer is a disease caused by too much abnormal cells in a part in the body. That cancer is a real killer.
Yeah, cancer should be in prison. But by the way, who cancer kill?
Mr. Jella last son.
You mean Jackson?
Oh.
And he was so young and never thought cancer does kill young people so.
But cancer is no respect of age, race, gender, nothing.
You're telling me? I hear it have over 25 different types of cancer.
Like, cancer then style now? Cancer more popular than them damagings and them?
And from what I research, early detection, exercise, and healthy eating is your best chance of fighting against this terrible disease.
Let's intensify our fight against cancer. Regular screening, constant exercising, and healthy eating habits are the key to winning the battle against cancer.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
A taste of spice, welcoming our cricketers and fans to pure Grenada, the Isle of Spice, showcasing our culture and heritage on Tuesday, 26 February on the Carnage in St. George's. England versus the West Indies. Cricket Rest Day. Come enjoy a taste of spice. Performances from top soca and calypso artists, pan, drummers, dancers, a mini carnival parade, arts and craft, and local food. From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Carnage is the place to be. It's cricket, lovely cricket. Rest Day, Tuesday, 26th February. Sample a taste of spice. Hosted by the Grenada Cultural Foundation. No unauthorized vending allowed.
Alrighty, thank you very much. And folks, again, welcome to your Mikey Live, the People's Program. First off, we want to tell you about the police. Now, the Royal Grenada Police Force, RGPF, wishes to inform the general public that its recruitment examination will be held on Saturday, 9th March 2019, commencing at 9 a.m. at the following venues: St. Andrew Anglican Secondary School, SAS, Telescope; Grenada Boys Secondary School, Tantine; St. Rose Modern Secondary School, Grove. All right, please be guided accordingly. Now, the recruitment examination for Carrier Crew and Petite Martinique will be held on Saturday, 16th March 2019, and that will be at the Magistrates Court at Hillsborough at 9 a.m. As well, information coming from the police. The Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force kindly advises the general public that the Mardi Gras Public Road from Boundary Bridge along the St. David's End will be closed for a period of 3 weeks from Monday 18th February to Monday 11th March 2019. Now, this closure is to facilitate renovation works, construction on a 4x4 box cross culvert on the said road. Now, the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Ministry of Infrastructure Development, Public Utilities, Energy, Transport and Implementation apologizes for any inconveniences caused to the motoring and commuting public. Now, they say that they solicit your understanding at this time as the ministry carry out maintenance work to our infrastructure. Oh yeah, we have some important pieces for you, which comes from the Grenada Informer. Of course, you know, every Friday what we do is we give you a little piece of what we call in the papers. Now, as part of the in the papers segment, we want to tell you about this right here. Now, Donat Williams, commonly known in the town of Grenville as Red Rat, a prison convict with numerous robbery convictions who lost one of his legs as a result of a chopping incident a few years ago, was remanded to Her Majesty's prisons for causing harm to a cobbler in Grenville. The incident is said to have taken place on February 6th on Victoria Street in Grenville, and that is close to the cobbler's workplace. The accused appeared before the magistrate in Grenville last Monday and pleaded guilty with cause of causing harm or causing a wound to Richard Lalit, who is of Soubise in St. Andrew. They say that the complainant, who was present in court, had sustained an injury to his head, which was covered in bandages. All right, and it goes on and on. But people are 1 foot man, a 1 foot man playing a mask, getting trouble, you know. You understand? So he get himself in a little mix up there. You understand? We will. No boy. Now, they say that when the accused was questioned by the court about the reason for the attack, he began to give the court a story claiming that he was attacked by the complainant and beaten and thrown into a drain. They say that he failed to explain to the court how the complainant sustained the injury, but claimed that he himself had sustained a number of injuries as a result of the attack on his person. He emphasized that he is a disabled man. He said, "Look at my condition." I ain't making it up, you know. It's in the news. He said, look me. Look at my condition. Your Honor, look at my condition. That's what he told the court. He said, and the man attacked me. You understand? But anyway, we like to just give you a little piece of it and tell you, you can go and check out the whole thing on the Grenada Informer website, or you can check out their papers. All right, we have another story for you in the paper segment, but we ain't ready for it yet. We will come back to that just now, because I want to tell all you that there will be a very important meeting that's going to be taking place tomorrow, God's willing, people. It's going to be happening on Saturday, the Spice Mass Corporation. They say that they're extending an invitation to all Calypsonians and soca artists to attend a meeting with the Minister for Culture, that's Nolan Cox. They say, and that is to discuss the way forward with respect to the upcoming Spice Mass Corporation's events 2019. You understand? So earlier, the meeting will take place tomorrow, God's willing, at around 10. You know, and we were speaking to Mr. Kelvin Jacob, who is the current CEO, the new CEO of the business. And he was saying, you know what? Sometimes people have a lot of concerns and they would address these concerns or air these concerns in all different sort of forums that may not be able to result with any changes. But this is the place and time that you need to be if you want your voices to be heard. You understand? We spoke to the new CEO today.
Okay, so tomorrow, please God, at the Grenada National Stadium, at the Players Level 1 conference room, we're having a meeting for all Calypsonians and soca artists. And the purpose of this meeting is to discuss the way forward for Calypso and soca monarch competitions for Carnival 2019. So it's a forum where the Calypsonians will come in and they will air their gripes, air your concerns, air your plans, air your whatever you're thinking about that you want to see at the competitions this year. We are asking you to come out, and this is the forum where you can come and air your gripes and air your views and give out your suggestions. The minister will be there to speak to that and hear a lot of the concerns and address the concerns. The meeting starts at 10 a.m. sharp at the Players Level 1 conference room, and it's for all Calypsonians and soca artists.
All Calypsonians and soca artists, you are being called upon to attend the meeting. Don't go on Facebook and say nothing. You understand? All you had to go and attend them people meeting so that all you could see what going on in the business and them kind of business. You understand? All you. Today was no ordinary day, boy. You know, there was an incident in the Perseverance area. No, I don't know when last we had such a crazy day. I mean, ambulances and all that stuff, you know, up and down the place. Today, as they attempted to transport 17 injured persons. 17 injured persons to hospital. The bus was carrying school children. Well, I wonder if they sometimes refer them as trainees from the New Life organization from NULO. You understand? Just around midday when this incident took place. The bus was traveling on its way to St. George's from St. John. People, it wasn't easy at all, boy. I think a lot of people got scared wanting to know really how badly injured were the occupants of this vehicle. At least we can tell you now that though so many persons were taken to hospital, we have not heard of any life-threatening injuries, at least not for now.
Yeah, get my shoes! Get my shoes!
Sorry, new shoes?
Yeah, get my shoes! I'll go home with my shoes!
Boss, big man! Oi, come on, go swallow them glass there! Who else inside it? Who there? Everybody else? Make sure everybody else is. You can get up, break the glass and see. Bust the glass. Nobody inside there. Ain't nobody inside there?
My shoes! Driver! You can open the back and see if you got my shoes. Oh, God.
What is signature?
Folks, this one was pretty crazy. We also was told of a story of a man who was he rescued everybody. Almost. You understand? Almost rescued everybody. They say he's a hero, but sometimes you don't hear about the heroes. We'll come back to that video in a moment. You don't hear about the heroes. I know it's kind of dark. They say this man just got into action. Once the incident took place, he just got into action. You understand? So we don't know your name and our partners, but we just want to recognize you on the program. You understand? Or give him a little clap. They say he just just responded. You know, some people must be kind of skeptical. They say that man just move like clockwork. You understand? To help out the injured people. And for that, we recognize you are the star of the program for tonight. You know what I mean, partners? Organize yourself. When you see me in town, we drink a beer. You know what I mean? Or Glenelg. So, folks, what really happened? Now, some persons told the story of two buses heading to St. George's, one driving behind the other, and then there was a truck that was somewhat on the side of the bus, and so the bus in front kind of like stopped suddenly, and the one behind not having enough room or not being able to get enough traction because of gravel in the road, lost control of the vehicle, and so it went off road and resulted in the incident that you are looking at currently on your screen. Again, we have not received any information about life-threatening injuries. What we can tell is 17 persons were injured. Several of them, most of them, are taken to hospital for treatment. The incident happened just around midday today, and so police, as we understand it, is investigating the incident.
Boss, big man, oi, come on, boss, one of them glass there. Who else inside it? Who there? Everybody else? Make sure everybody else is. You can get up, break the glass and see. Bust the glass. Nobody inside there. Ain't nobody inside there?
My shoes! Driver! You can open the back and see if you got my shoes. Oh, God.
Well, as it relates to the shoes, I know the shoes thing created a talk on social media. At least what we can tell you is that the shoes was recovered. We have moments of the rescue of the shoes as well. Take a look.
And not later. Did I see your credit?
No. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment the shoes came on. Alright? So, at least for those of you who are wondering, yes, the shoes was rescued from the wreckage, as you can see on your screen. All right, good. So at least you could sleep tonight. We are moving on, people. We have more things to tell all you about how you're looking on the program, how we're looking for time. All ya, all you really like thing, you know? Settle down, settle down. All you really like thing, settle down on the program. Settle down. Let me read my next story. You understand? Let me read my next story. Take all the time. Good. Good night, Granny. Alright, how you do? Hi, Popo. Alright. So, all you, hear another story. Try not to cry. Alright? Try not to cry. We are going to head to Carriacou for a very interesting story, people. I would like to put a picture on your screen. You know what I mean? We're putting a picture on your screen right now. Okay, tell me when all you see it. This lady is the subject of our next story. Right? Don't cry. Now, people, this is a story of a woman who received her promotion letter 14 years later. All right? They say, according to the Grenada Informer in the papers against Segmont, we're making it up, having dedicated 37 of her life to the teaching profession at the Hillsborough Government School, Veronica Lawrence was dealt the shock of her life when she received a promotion letter last week Wednesday, which was dated way back in 2005. And even worse, she had retired from the service just 4 years ago. You follow me? Okay, let's go. Sitting at her daycare center adjacent to her Boseju home Teacher Veronica, as she's affectionately known, said that she is flabbergasted and dismayed that the letter, which she was never aware of, was brought to her by a teacher of the institution, the Hillsborough Government School, some 14 years after it was written and signed by the former Chief Education Officer, Francis Sukram, and bears a carbon copy to the principal at the time, who was Henry Steele. According to this report, take all the time with me. If all you want, I'll go drink some water in the program. Now, she pointed out that she was never ever informed or notified by the principal of a letter from the Ministry of Education elevating her to a particular position at the school. I ain't making it up. Now, according to the teacher, her love for teaching was and is well known, as she continues to teach children of various ages, including those at her daycare facility. Terming it as a great act of injustice to her service, she said that it's a pain that will live with her for as long as she lives. In fact, she said, for a long time to come. All right, can I continue? In the papers, can I go on? Teacher Veronica, who is a certified teacher and retired in 2015, said that she taught every grade in the school from kindergarten to grade 6, only taking a break to go on maternity leave. Now, she said that she also taught every subject area at that school. So teaching every class, every grade, every subject. Stay with me. She is speaking now. She says, quote, "One day, while we were attending school at the Hillsborough Secondary School, moved for repairs, the principal, Mr. Steele, called me into his office and said, 'I want you to check the books of the teachers at the infant department,' which I did," she replied. Mistress Lawrence adds that the duties were clearly spelled out in the letter. However, she pointed out that having not gotten the promotion letter while she was enrolled as a member of staff at the school meant that she is now unaware as to what transpired due to her unawareness. You know, no, she said it was only when the current principal sent her the letter with a member of staff that she realized that she had been promoted to head of the senior department of the Hillsborough Government School until further notice, as stated in the letter. Can I continue? No, she quotes. She says now, quote, "I was never given that letter until Wednesday, February 6, 2019, you know." What? She says, "What a shame. Imagine this." In 2009, she was the only teacher from the Sister Isle to travel to Dominica to receive the Teacher of Excellence Award from the Caribbean Center of Excellence for Teacher Training. She added that she never knew this could have existed in any professional circle on the Sister Isle. Quote, "I want to know, where was this letter all these years? What good is it to me now? Why was the letter addressed to me not delivered to me? I would like to know which system was at fault. Is it the Ministry of Education? Is it the Postal Corporation? Or who else?" she asked in a sarcastic tone. Now, she made it clear that she is aware that she would be losing friends and former colleagues for reporting her disappointment and astonishment in the papers. But she says, "That's okay with me, as I'm seeking justice I am appealing to people in authority to be fair, honest, and exercise justice in the execution of your daily duties. Do not victimize people, she says. Treat everyone with respect and love. Give Jack his jacket regardless of the situation. She speaks, I received a letter 14 years after it was written and after I was long retired. Now, according to the papers, when contacted for a comment, Mr. Steele said that he too was shocked and that he was first viewing the content of the letter after the informers Insider Karaoke and informers Inside Karaoke and Peter Matnick presented him with a copy. He said that he had never recommended her for promotion and therefore this was news to him. Asked whether the Ministry of Education could elevate a teacher without the consent of a principal, he said it's possible. Quizzed on whether this might have been the case, Mr. Steele was adamant that he had no knowledge of such a promotion. However, he promised to request the current principal to scrutinize the files at the school and then would subsequently make a better comment on this issue. End of story. Folks, this is crazy. If I'm this woman, I would stop at nothing to get to the bottom of this. Ma'am, you are to be compensated. If this position came with any increase in salaries or anything like that, you ought to seek justice. I don't understand how this could exist, but like no red flags, nothing. Anyway, let's leave that talk there. I would like to ask of you to share the program. Thank you to the informer for this one, yeah. Different. Chenny Joseph, as we move on, the man who was recently provisionally dismissed from his post following a motion that was moved by some of his own executive members, has been reinstated. Now that announcement was made today, but we will tell you more about that shortly. As we are on the topic of football, a young footballer collapsed and died while playing football last evening. His name, Jason Caliste. Now he is from Nonpareil, St. Mark. According to reports, last night he was on fire. He scored the first goal on his opposing team. Shortly after that, he would start feeling sick and then collapse and subsequently die on the field of play, according to reports. Exactly what is the cause of death, we are not sure. But the young man, they say, had a serious love for the game of football. In fact, one of his friends said that he taught them how to play football. You know, he would always talk about football, always play football. Very young guy, people. How did he die? What was this cause of death? Time will tell. Time will tell. But this one was pretty strange. Now, of course, obviously, it took the people by shock, even those who were playing. They say he was rushed to hospital and he was pronounced dead on arrival at the Princess Alice Hospital. He was already dead, in fact, folks, when he got there. Now, according to reports, he worked at Fish and Chick in Grand Anse. Many persons would know him. He's a very friendly guy. You understand? Yep. Just sorry to hear that. Now, at the press conference today, we had Mr. Alan James, who is the Vice President of the Grenada Football Association, expressing condolence and so on to the family and friends of the young footballer whose life, who died. last night. You know, it's a tough one. You know, sometimes when you think about it, you say everything seemed to have been okay. Everything seemed to have been okay, and then the next thing you know. But anyway, like as I was saying, sorry for that, guys. Mr. Alan James, who is the Vice President of the Grenada Football Association, spoke about this at the press conference today.
I don't know if most of you are aware, we had a very sad incident that happened last evening at Rosalind St. Patrick's in a local football match where a young player collapsed on the field of play and have since passed away. So on behalf of the Grenada Football Association, we want to take this opportunity to extend condolences to the family of Jason Callis of Non-Parallel St. Patrick's. And actually this morning, one of our executive members was at the family, trying to console them. But we want to express our deepest condolences and sympathies to the family of Jason Callis.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, folks. So as we were saying moments ago, Chenny Joseph, who is the current president of the Grenada Football Association, was provisionally dismissed, according to the members who were instrumental in that, pending an investigation into an incident that resulted in Joseph being charged in court and made to pay a fine. Though there is no record of it now because there was an application for clemency, the GFA members, some of the executives thought that as part of GFA's rules and regulations, the president should have been disciplined outside of the court by the executive, by the GFA. And so they thought that one of the first courses of action was to put him aside, which is suspend him for 3 months, they say, in the first instance, conduct an investigation, and following that investigation, they will decide whatever else would follow. Now today, the vice president, again Alan James of the Grenada Football Association, made the announcement that based on a directive from FIFA, that Mr. Chenny Joseph is being reinstated.
As the acting president then, I informed the members that I will seek clarity from FIFA regarding the letter, because based on my our deliberation, it seems that some members didn't have different opinion and different understanding in relation to that letter from FIFA. So I wrote to FIFA on 2 occasions seeking clarity in relation to the first letter. Today, Friday, the 15th day of February 2019, we received communication from FIFA in relation to the matter in terms of seeking clarity. And I will read to you the contents of the letter from FIFA. It's on the FIFA letterhead. Email Grenada Football Association, Mr. Alan James, Vice President. Zurich, 15 February 2019. Your letters dated the 9th and 12th of February 2019. Dear Vice President, we acknowledge receipt of your letters dated 9th and 12th February 2019, the contents of which receive our full attention. We understand that you are seeking clarity in the case of the provisional suspension of the Grenada Football Association GFA President, Mr. Chenny Joseph. Following up on our letter dated 7th February 2019, we reiterate our position that the provisional suspension is now without grounds in light of the court's decision that was sent to GFA on the 1st of February 2019. FIFA continues to recognize Mr. Chenny Joseph as the duly elected president of GFA. In this respect, failure to adhere to our guidance will result in the matter being referred to the competent body at FIFA for appropriate action. We thank you for taking note of the above. Yours faithfully, FIFA, Fatma Samora, Secretary General. carbon copy to CONCACAF. So in light of this, I'd like to inform you, the media and members of the general public, that we have acceded to the decision and guidance from FIFA, and as of now, President Chenny Joseph has now been reinstated as the president of the Grenada Football Association based on the guidance and directive of FIFA, the governing body for football. As the acting president then.
All right, so sorry, that was the announcement and the manner in which it was made at today's press conference. We are yet to hear from the other side on how they received that information and announcement. We are moving on. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said he's delighted with the development of Grenada's structural adjustment program. And we have our Karim George who is going to tell us more about this.
Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Dr. Keith Mitchell expressed his delight in the development of the country's economy during the Structural Adjustment Homegrown Program. Dr. Mitchell boasts about being the region's fastest growing economy and wants Grenadians to be proud of that because of the country's previous economic status.
Our debt to GDP ratio was over 108%. The existing fiscal policy and management framework was definitely inadequate. This was illustrated through a number of factors, including no policy anchor, a weak medium-term budgeting systems. In other words, the problem of budgeting did not exist really. Insufficient policy buffers, open-ended wage bill management framework, and hiring controls. There were no limits of hiring.
Dr. Mitchell gives insight on the country's economy in 2013 and shows how it compares to that of the current status. He speaks about serious economic decline and negative growth in the country in past years and the effect that it had on the country.
There was a high level of unpaid claims in the Treasury, over $110 million in unpaid claims. In other words, local persons who gave service to government, like the business community and others, they were not paid. So it would affect their ability to further develop their institution, the businesses, and at the same time to meet their fundamental responsibility to expand and provide service to the country.
The country was able to turn around this negative economy with that they called at the time the Structural Adjustment Homegrown Program. Having a homegrown program therefore was important for us to design something that was specifically tailored for Grenada's situation, based on consultation with the people, says the Prime Minister, as he explains the importance of the program to the negative economy at the time. He describes the measures taken by people of the country to meet the conditions of the program as a sacrifice for every single Grenadian. Prime Minister Mitchell gives the current position of the country as to how far it has come. He also gives the significant drop in the debt to GDP ratio, which was 108% in 2013 to 62.7% and is projected to be at 55% by 2020.
At $10 million, that's still high, but it's way down from the $110 million that we had. A significant reduction for in excess of over $100 million in 5 years. Grenada experienced a 6th consecutive year of growth in 2018, and we are poised to experience the same in 2019 or even more.
Karim George, Mikey Live.
Thank you very much, Karim, as we move on. So, folks, the next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, very interesting, all right? A principal in St. Lucia is under fire for striking a student who was caught in a compromising act. And so we want to head to St. Lucia for a special report on this. And here is our colleagues at the HTS News Force who is going to give a very interesting update on this particular incident. We now move over to the HTS News Force in St. Lucia.
Were the actions of a male senior official at the Bocage Secondary School inappropriate when he allegedly meted out corporal punishment to one of his female students? According to News Force police sources, Police officers reportedly got involved in the alleged fracas that occurred during a school-related sports event at the Mindu Phillip Park. It is alleged the female student was caught near the park with an older man. That's reportedly when the Bocage Secondary School official reacted. Newsforce requests for comment from Bocage Secondary School officials went unanswered. The parents of the minor, the responding police officers, and the senior Bocage Secondary School official reportedly addressed the incident at the sports meet. No official police reports were lodged, and the students' parents decided against pursuing the matter. The Bocage Secondary School official also reportedly issued an apology to the student. Meanwhile, Newsforce understands the male adult allegedly implicated in the compromising act with the teen student was not formally questioned by police. Rihani Isidore, HTS Newsforce.
Thank you, Rihani. All right, and we have an update on that. Is up on me report on a jet, or it is, boy. I don't like to see a black man driving a jet, or it is. Anyway, folks, we have an update on that incident for you as well. I wonder where did I put it? Exploring corporal punishment. All right, and again, that report comes from the HTS Newsforce because you know, spare the rod. You understand? But anyway, let's go to HTS.
According to research from the Human Development and Family Services Department of the University of Texas, school corporal punishment continues to be a legal means of disciplining children in a third of the world's countries. In the Caribbean, it is culturally sanctioned and generally viewed as a norm and supported by parents and teachers. A recent incident where a male teacher at the Bocage Secondary School allegedly struck a female student has brought the issue to the fore. What is deemed suitable punishment or discipline? What may be thought to be discipline in the region, in other parts of the world, particularly the USA, it is considered a form of abuse. Parents can face jail time if caught and sometimes have the children taken into custody. In Caribbean schools, corporal punishment is reserved for serious infractions such as fighting. Punishment is usually administered in primary schools, although not uncommon in secondary, and involves use of objects such as sticks, paddles, and straps on the hands, arms, head, and buttocks. Students are also forced to stand up in the corner for long periods of time with their hands in the air. Most Caribbean children have received some form of, quote, licks or beating for misbehavior. It starts from a young age with a small tap when the child misbehaves and can escalate to a full-fledged beating as the child grows. As of late, Caribbean parents have been heavily criticized for publicly disciplining children on social media. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child views the technique as a form of punishment which violates children's rights. There are also concerns that corporal punishment may create long-lasting emotional scars. UNICEF's Young Lives study has found no evidence that corporal punishment enhances or promotes children's learning in the classroom. The Global Initiative to End All Corporal Punishment of Children indicates that as of 2016, corporal punishment is legally prohibited in schools in 128 countries and allowed in 69. It is banned in all of Europe and most of South America and East Asia. Under St. Lucia's Education Act, teachers are allowed to physically punish students. Gina Filippi, HTS Newsforce.
Thank you, Gina. And just for the avoidance of doubt, I don't know children, but if my child do something, teacher, if my child disrupt your class, and make life hard for you, a teacher, don't call me and tell me nothing, you know. Blows in the clothes. You understand? Just bruise him, don't mark him, do nothing. Yeah, so I'm putting him in the hand. But we used to get with, they used to bench us in Happy Hill, you know. Mr. Thomas and they used to put us on a bench, boy. You know, hey Calvin, and they put us on a bench and they say, bend back. And according to Calvin, a flag in a sometimes this, by association, you get links in Happy Hill. You know what I mean? Yeah, by association, you don't have to do nothing. If Mikey do something, ask Calvin, I'm making it up. I was a twin, and then I had my cousin in school, right? So we were all in the same forms growing up. So if Mikey do something, you hear they say, go and call Mike and Marcus, and 3 of us get leaks. Mike do something, I don't know. As soon as I drop from the bus and I reach in school, they say, Mikey, the principal say, as soon as they reach, come straight to the office. When they reach in the office, once I see Mike and Marcus, I know my turn coming too. I never make up nothing on the program. Ask Calvin and them. Never make nothing up. The amount of innocent leaks I get, guilty by association, blows in the clothes. You know, so that's why I grew up, I don't thiefing. I don't do nothing like that. It's walk. You know, because the leaks walk, make up Mr. Thomas. I don't see Mr. Thomas. Oh, anyway, let's leave that story right there. Folks, the next thing that we have to tell all about, boy, as we're losing time, we have to tell all of that, right? 258 arrests over 72 hours during our Operation Strike Back. And we're talking about in Trinidad, boy. The police commissioner, they say right now, ain't playing that. Ain't playing with none of them. You understand, people? And so they say arrest after arrest after arrest after arrest. Yeah, yeah. So they say they have gotten a couple gang members and things like that. So they're looking to really curb the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago. 258 arrests, isn't it? Arrests. It was made, you know. Anyway, they say they had a total of 2,553 patrols. Firearms and ammunition seized, 9 firearms and 93 rounds. And they got cocaine, they got, listen, a whole heap of thing they get, you know. Anyway, all the shady program. Some of what, listen, when you hear, I realize all those shady program, I charging all you know, like police, you know. I charging all the shady program, not dread, because we're coming back with the real thing. I mean, we're coming back with the national report. So watch that.
Audio Jungle.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
This month is Black History Month, so on Saturday, February 23rd, Fireman Promotions presents a tribute to fallen legend at Moonlight City, featuring 10 big DJs: Shotleg, Hawk, Chemist, Baker, Blackstorm, 473 Rulers, Kevlatone, Smiley, Super, Small Clothes, Sound System. Action kicks off from 9 p.m. General admission 10. Come enjoy all the greatest hits from all the fallen legends. Big tunes after big tunes. Saturday, February 23rd. Moonlight City. It's a tribute to fallen legends, and it's music from all your legendary artists. One night, one venue. Saturday, February 23rd. Moonlight City. A tribute to fallen legends. Sponsored by 3 O's Auto, Captain Harris, WeFM, Staggerman's Beer, Glenelg, Design Factory, True Blue Bay Resort, Casey's Fire Extinguishers, and the Archibald Distributors.
A taste of spice, welcoming our cricketers and fans to Pure Grenada, the Isle of Spice, showcasing our culture and heritage on Tuesday, 26 February on the Carnage in St. George's. England versus the West Indies. Cricket Rest Day. Come enjoy a taste of spice. Performances from top soca and calypso artists, pan, drummers, dancers, a mini carnival parade, arts and craft, and local food. From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Carnage is the place to be. It's cricket, lovely Only Cricket. Rest Day, Tuesday, 26th February. Sample a taste of spice. Hosted by the Grenada Cultural Foundation. No unauthorized vending allowed.
Okay, folks, so it is now time for the national report. We have that, and then we're going to come back with the official wrap-up.
Financial sector in Grenada and other OECS countries stable in 2018. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Friday, February 15th, I am Sherry-Ann Noel. The financial sector in Grenada and other member countries of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States remain broadly stable in 2018. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, who is currently the chairman of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, ECCU, indicated this as he delivered the communique at the end of the 93rd meeting of the Monetary Council of the ECCU in St. Kitts and Nevis on Friday. The preliminary financial stability report was one of the matters discussed by the Monetary Council.
The Monetary Council received the preliminary financial stability report for the ECC Union for the period January to December 2018. The report reveals that the ECCU financial sector remained broadly stable throughout that entire period of 2018. The report also indicates the following. 1. The development in the ECCU banking sector through 2018 was largely very positive. Secondly, the insurance sector was assessed as broadly stable and solvent with increase in premiums. Profitability was reported to have improved following the tumultuous events of 2017. Thirdly, several ongoing initiatives would enhance financial stability. These initiatives include the implementation of a risk-based supervisory approach for the commercial banking sector, regulation of the Caribbean Credit Card Corporation, and the establishment of a credit bureau in the ECCU.
Grenada is one of 4 OECS member states that have enacted the Harmonized Credit Reporting Bill, which would pave the way for the creation of the Credit Bureau. The purpose of the Bureau, according to the communique, is to provide credit-granting institutions with better means to access information and to facilitate the extension of credit to underserved segments of the population.
Council also considered the proposed framework for identifying systemically important commercial banks and credit unions in the ECCU. 12 institutions were identified, of which 3 were banks and 9 were credit unions. While commercial banks continue to dominate the financial sector, credit unions were expanding, becoming an increasingly important source of credit to the private sector through increases in membership, assets, loans, and deposits. The boom in credit union activity has implications for the financial inclusion and the financial stability framework.
Friday's Monetary Council meeting also received the ECCB Governor's report on monetary and credit conditions in the ECCU, which was based on developments in 2018.
The Council received the Governor's report on monetary and credit conditions to the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, based on developments during 2018. The report focused on recent months in monetary and credit conditions as of the 31st December 2018, against a backdrop of global economic and financial developments and within the context of the bank's broader objectives of ensuring the stability of the exchange rate in the financial system.
Dr. Mitchell said one of the factors noted in the governor's report was that domestic credit in the banking sector declined by about 5.3% to $8.6 billion, which was largely influenced by lower credit to the private sector but mitigated by a decrease in net credit to the government. The report also noted that credit extended by the credit union sector increased. There are projections that money and credit conditions in the ECCU will improve in 2019, supported by stronger economic activity. The communiqué also revealed that net foreign assets stood at $4.6 billion at the end of November, which represents an increase of 2.6% over November 2017. The EC dollar remains strong with a current backing ratio of 98.6%. Prime Minister Mitchell on Thursday praised social partners in Grenada for their role in enabling the success of the country's homegrown structural adjustment program. The success of the program continues to generate significant attention, and at the third Growth and Resilience Dialogue with Social Partners, hosted by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank in St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Mitchell emphasized the role of the social partners.
The fact is, Grenada's successful structural adjustment program had a lot to do with the social partnership that was developed over the last several years. Without the buy-in of trade unions, business, NGOs, and the people as a whole, we could never have achieved what we did achieve. And therefore, this session here, to me, speaks to that sort of relationship where the bank has initiated, for us as leaders, as government, opposition, and all stakeholders, business, trade union, to be involved. And to tell you the honest truth, I'm a bit disappointed that many of my colleagues didn't find the time to be here. I don't know if they were here this morning, but certainly it does not look good, Governor. I want to apologize for that because I take responsibility as one of the older heads for not making sure my colleagues were here today. But it does, because this is so significant. Unless we are able to work together. In Grenada, we don't always share the same views on some issues, you know. We have strong differences, but the big picture, the project is the country. And the final analysis, sometimes we agree to disagree, but we have to be at the table together.
Dr. Mitchell says he plans to discuss the level of participation in the Growth and Resilience Dialogue at the 93rd meeting of the Monetary Council of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union on Friday, and also at the 30th intersessional meeting of the Conference of Heads of Governments of CARICOM later this month. The annual Growth and Resilience Dialogue is an initiative of the ECCB that is intended to raise the awareness of stakeholders on the issues facing the ECCU and the development of strategies designed to foster growth within the currency union. This year's meeting addressed the areas of institutional strengthening for governance in small states, institutional building for doing business to improve the global ranking of the ECCU member states, and the role of a fit-for-purpose infrastructure to facilitate trade, logistics, and connectivity. This is a national report. More news after the break.
Data reveals that rats and other rodents are responsible for the transmission of many diseases. In Grenada, the most common is leptospirosis, and it can cause your death. This disease is directly related to rats and mice infestation. Signs and symptoms of lepto, as it is commonly referred to, are high fever, headache, chills, muscle aches, vomiting, jaundice, and abdominal pain. If your home had or is infected with rats and you have any of these symptoms, please check with your doctor immediately. Declare war on rats. Starve them. Kill them. Rats are the most unwelcomed guests. Reduce, control, eliminate them. This is a message from the Ridge to Reef Project, protecting biodiversity and ecosystem functions.
Welcome back. Their Royal Highnesses, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall will visit Grenada on March 23, 2019 as part of a 7-country tour of the region. The Prince and Duchess will be met on arrival by Governor General Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade. They will also have an engagement with Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell and other parliamentarians. While here, the Royal Highnesses will learn more about local agriculture and the importance and history of cocoa and spice production. The Prince of Wales will also attend a meeting on the importance of the blue economy and meet with representatives of the organizations involved in marine protection and conservation. Members of the public will have an opportunity to engage the visiting Royal Highnesses, and details on this will be disclosed later. The Royal Highnesses will also visit St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Cuba and the Cayman Islands. The visit to Cuba is the first by a member of the royal family. It is intended to highlight the growing bilateral relationships with the United Kingdom and showcase some of the cultural links between the two countries. And finally, intra-regional travel had its best performance ever in 2018, reaching a record 2 million visits, evidence that Caribbean tourism is on the upswing, following declines in the first 8 months of the year. Mr. Ryan Skeet, the Acting Director of Research at the Caribbean Tourism Organization, says intra-regional travel last year represented a strong 5.3% rise, followed closely by South America, which produced 1.9 million visits, representing a 3.6% increase. Among the destinations, tourist arrivals showed uneven growth, with several countries reporting double-digit increase, like Guyana 15.9%, Belize 14.6%, the Cayman Islands 10.7%, the Bahamas 10.5%, and Grenada 10%, while the hurricane-impacted countries recorded double-digit declines. Skeet says the cruise sector also had its best performance ever last year, demonstrating a rapid recovery from the 2017 hurricanes. The number of cruise passenger visits reached an estimated 28.9 million, up by 6.7%. Despite the challenges member countries endured as a result of the devastating hurricanes of 2017, the Caribbean received 29.9 million tourist visits in 2018, the second highest on record, surpassed only by the 30.6 million who visited in 2017. Mr. Skeet, who was delivering a report on the CTO's annual Caribbean tourism performance, said they remain cautiously optimistic for 2019.
Global demand for international travel is expected to remain strong, underpinned by healthy economic activity. Global economic growth is expected to continue, though at a slower rate, and oil prices are expected to remain the same as in 2018. Additionally, improved air connectivity should help to boost arrivals. Of course, we must recognize that there are significant headwinds to navigate. These include, but are not limited to, the outcome of the Brexit negotiations, the ongoing trade war between US and China, and potential extreme weather events in the destinations and marketplaces. Consequently, we are projecting that tourist arrivals will increase by between 6 and 7% in 2019, as the damaged infrastructure in the hurricane-impacted destinations return to capacity.
And this brings us to the end of the National Report for Friday, February 15th. Recapping the top story: financial sector in Grenada and other OECS countries stable in 2018. I am Sharian Noel. Thank you very much for viewing.
All right, thank you very much, Sharian Noel. And of course, folks, you would have realized that already we have exhausted our time for tonight, so I cannot stick around. I would like to thank everybody for tuning into the program as usual, and we will touch base. We have a lot of programs to bring to you. Yes, Suzette Agaron. We have a lot of things. Hold on one second. We have a lot of things that we have to do. Listen. This thing is going to get better for you guys. A lot of things to happen, lives and so on, that we'll be doing soon, all right, to bring more activities, more action, more news, more everything to you. As time progresses, we promise to you that we are going to be better able to serve you and your entertainment and news needs, all right? So guys, just know that we are working in your favor. Share the program, guys. I gotta run. God bless you. All you hold something and run in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We say, Jeno. Good night. I gotta run.